In the middle of the night, Stevie wakes up from a really bad nightmare. In the dream, she remembers the times when her parents stopped paying attention to her so they could take care of her younger brother. In these nightmares, the young woman keeps seeing all sorts of bad and scary things around her, and she starts to think maybe it's a sign that something really terrible is about to happen. Despite these fears, Stevie manages to calm herself down. After making sure her younger brother Elliot is alright, she heads downstairs to listen in on her parents' conversation. The couple talks about their financial issues, and the father says that if his wife hadn't quit being his vocalist during the recording of their next album, they wouldn't be in that situation right now. Upset, the woman says there was no other choice because the debts are growing more and more, and things are not the same as before. Saddened by what she heard, Stevie goes back to her room and steps on a rotten ham that her younger brother had left on the floor. The girl gets angry and shouts at Elliot to stop throwing bad food all over the room. Elliot responds that he's doing it to try to find his favorite toy, Bologna Tony, because he can't see it anymore. A few minutes later, Stevie attempts to prepare breakfast, but her brother interrupts her, so she decides to lock him in the living room so she can finish preparing the meal. With everything set, the girl goes to her father and chooses to lie, telling him that her mother has made a wonderful breakfast for the family. Soon after, Stevie does the same with her mother, and the couple is happy to be eating something so tasty and well prepared, making the most of the fact that everyone is together. The woman says she has a job interview at a university in Duthie, so she'll be gone for a few days. Seeing that Stevie is concerned about her mother not being there, her father mentions he found a really good deal at a nearby pizzeria, so they can go out to eat while they wait for her mother to come back. The man then leaves the table with his youngest child, and the woman says that her daughter will be in charge while she is away. Also, the girl's mother asks her to help her brother pick a book for his schoolwork. Without wasting any time, the kids go straight to the library. Seeing that Elliot might need some time to make a choice, Stevie starts walking through the aisles to pass the time while she waits. When he's by himself, the boy finds a staircase that goes down into the basement. At the same time, the young girl looks at the music records in stock and is excited to see that her parents' album is already on sale in the city. At that moment, June B., who was one of the employees, walked up to the girl and asked if there was anything he could assist her with. In a few seconds, Stevie is completely surprised by the boy's beauty and decides to change the subject so she can walk away. Before she can manage that, she ends up having a bad fall. Meanwhile, Elliot goes down to the library's basement and discovers a big chest that holds an old book which tells the story of a man called Sandman. Curious, the boy picks up the book and is surprised when his sister appears, telling him it can't be the right book for his summary because there's nothing but pictures inside. Suddenly, the library's electricity goes out, and the young people find themselves listening to the music box playing on its own. Soon after, Junebei shows up in the basement. After turning the lights back on using the circuit breakers, he asks why the siblings are there. Desperate, the young people run away, and because he doesn't really care about his job, the attendant lets them escape. At home, Stevie asks which book her brother has chosen for his schoolwork, and Elliot insists on using Sandman's short story. When she found out her younger brother had taken the book from the library, the young woman got really scared, but the boy reassured her, explaining that the book didn't have a price tag anyway. After that, the siblings read the story about Sandman and find out that the man is a magical creature who fulfills the wishes of anyone who asks for his help. Noticing that her brother is taking everything they are reading at face value, Stevie jokingly mocks him, but Elliot stays confident in his views and says that if his dreams ever came true, he would want to have a jetpack and fists made of dynamite. At dusk, Stevie wakes up to a strange noise. When she checks what's going on, she sees her brother's bed moving by itself, like it's being controlled by some kind of spell. Before he can react, Elliot is pulled by an unknown magic force, which breaks through one of the room's walls and attempts to flee. Quickly, Stevie grabs the edge of the blanket, pulling both siblings along with him as they get swept up by the neighborhood, where furniture zips between rooftops at high speed. Soon after, the pair fly hundreds of meters up into the sky. In a panic, the girl tells Elliot to get off the bed right away. The boy gets excited about the situation and agrees to the plan, taking control of the furniture and driving it through the city streets, which makes his older sister more and more scared. At that moment, Elliot notices a button beside him and chooses to press it, which makes the bed switch to jet mode and speed up even further. Because of this, the pair reach a height above the clouds where they see hundreds of bright stars around them. Stevie is amazed and reaches out to touch one of them, which makes all the shiny objects gather together to form an illusion. The Sandman appears, inviting the young people to come and find him if they want their wishes to come true. After that, a massive storm surrounds the two of them, and they start to fall towards the ground. But at that moment, they wake up in their room and realize they've just had the exact same dream. However, Stevie doesn't believe any of it and tells her brother to go back to sleep. A few minutes later, the young woman sees her father speaking with her mother outside. The woman says that her new job offers a good salary, so they should relocate and try to start a fresh life in a different city. When he hears this, the man hesitates and says he isn't certain if he could actually do that. Not sure what to say after hearing that reply, the woman decides to go ahead with the interview. Stevie realizes her family might be about to split up and asks Sandman for help. Because of this, the moment the young woman lies down to go to sleep, she is transported to another world. There, she wakes up in the center of a village where the people are all different kinds of food. While walking through the area, Stevie is surprised to run into her brother, who tells her he ended up there too after falling asleep and even managed to train his magic bed. Now that they are together, the young people begin their search for Sandman. While they were exploring, Elliot met Balagani Tony, who was really happy to finally see his owner again. When the stuffed animal hears about the duo's plans, it decides to assist them and leads them to the village gate. It tells them that in order to find Sandman, they need to go toward the big golden star that's above them. Stevie finds everything very easy and gets excited, but Bologna explains that this might not be a good idea because people who meet Sandman usually end up having a lot of disturbing nightmares. Elliot is scared and tells her he doesn't want to go through that, but the girl isn't scared off and jokes around with her brother. At that moment, a massive dark cloud starts to cover the area, and Stevie is surprised to realize that all her teeth are coming out of her mouth. In a panic, Bologna explains that this is Nightmare, the owner of nightmares, a kind of guardian who must be faced before a traveler can reach Sandman. Because of the storm, everyone in the area tries to run away in fear, but they can't escape and soon get caught by the creature's shadows. This turns them into zombies very quickly. Stevie and Elliot desperately attempt to run away, but the monsters quickly close in around them and get ready to take them out. Before they are attacked, the young people wake up in their rooms. As the girl starts to calm down, the boy rushes over to save his stuffed animal since he now knows where it ended up. Soon after, Stevie reads Sandman's book again and finds out that since they first entered the realm together, the siblings are now psychically linked, meaning they can only locate Sandman if they dream together. The issue is that Elliot was really scared of Nightmare Land and says he doesn't want to go back there. Trying to stop her brother from giving up and making sure her plan to bring happiness back to her family doesn't fail, Stevie attempts to make him fall asleep by using the turtle that sings lullabies. The boy panics and struggles with his sister to keep awake, and right then, their father suddenly walks into the room. Elliot takes his opportunity and runs off, and later the three of them head to the town's pizza restaurant. While Elliot plays on the machines, Stevie asks her father about the situation with her mother, and the man replies that even though they're going through tough times, he doesn't want the girl to be too worried. Later, Stevie gets the news that her mother has been offered a job as a university professor and decides to tell her brother. He is very upset to find out that the family might be about to separate. However, the girl says they can avoid all that if they find Sandman. Even though he was scared, Elliot still offers to help her. So, the pair keep falling asleep again and again, and they face many different challenges in their effort to reach their goal, but they don't succeed and end up being eliminated in every attempt they make. After many failures and sad endings in their nightmares, the siblings finally find a way to deal with the dangers. They decide to work together and think alike, which makes their ideas come true. Because of this, when Elliot is attacked by a giant bear, he suddenly gains super strength, which helps him avoid being crushed. Not long after, the two friends summon the boy's magical bed to save them from that place. Now that they have full control over their powers, Stevie leaps off the furniture to execute a super attack, landing a powerful punch on the monster's nose, which causes a massive explosion and eliminates the monster. As they celebrate their victory, the young people fly towards Sandman's star. At that moment, the dark storm comes back, creating a massive tornado. This causes Bologna to be thrown away. Before they could assist him, the two were pulled into the eye of the storm. To stop the nightmare from waking them up again, Stevie hugs Elliot, and together the young people manage to overcome the fear caused by the Guardian. A few minutes later, the two of them wake up on a lonely beach. At that moment, hundreds of bright birds suddenly appeared in the sky, creating the image of a huge magical floating sand castle. Excited, the young people link arms and start to run toward the castle. As they walk in, they come across thousands of golden beings who lead them to the main staircase. Soon after, Sandman finally appears. After showing his home to the visitors, he asks them what they need. Stevie then explains his family's current situation to him. Without losing any time, the entity takes the pair to a massive hourglass and tells them all they need to do is turn the object. In addition, Sandman mentions that once the sand at the top of the container runs out, their dreams will come true. Stevie, excited, thanks him for his help. After that, the young people are awakened by the castle's leader and they quickly go to hear their parents talk. Their parents are trying to rebuild their relationship. Excited, they get together for breakfast. As a family, they have a really enjoyable and unforgettable day filled with walks and lots of fun together. But as soon as she goes to sleep, Stevie looks at the family portrait and recalls that the glass was broken the last time she saw it. At the same time, Elliot realizes that his toys are more neatly arranged than usual. He notices that his sister is also worried, so he begins shouting, claiming that they are still dreaming. Trying to stop him, Stevie hugs her brother and tells him he's just delirious. During the argument, the boy chooses to throw the portrait against the wall, so the room is completely ruined and all the walls turn into sand. Soon after, the Sandman appears and notices that the young people are confused. He then explains that they should have stayed in their dream until all the sand in the hourglass had fallen. Stevie then asks if this will make the dream come true, and the magical entity explains that in reality, they will come to believe this is their new reality, realizing that Sandman is nothing more than a madman. Elliot tries to take his sister with him, but the man says that the young people's parents don't want to be together anymore, so they should stay and live the life they really wanted. These words eventually convince Stevie, who says this is the only way they can stay together because she doesn't want to see her family torn apart when they wake up. So the girl moves toward the illusion, and Elliot frantically tries to stop her. Stevie is really angry and tells her brother he's messing things up again, then yells that she just wants to be by herself. Because of this, the touch between the young people's hands fulfills the girl's wish, but the boy is ultimately discarded and erased by the castle's main hologram. To comfort the girl, Sandman tells her that Elliot will be okay and takes her back to her parents, who greet her with excitement. As soon as he wakes up, the boy attempts to wake his sister and, in a state of desperation, he shouts for his parents, who then take her to the emergency room. After some time, his mother comes with news from the doctor, who says that all Stevie needs to do is wake up because she is completely healthy. Meanwhile, the young girl has fun in the make-believe world created by the Sandman. When she walks into her room and sees there is just one bed inside, she starts to feel puzzled. While investigating, Stevie finds the stuffed baloney Tony that had been stored away and recalls that when she was a child, Elliot gave the toy to his sister to comfort her after she didn't win anything from the toy machine. Seeing that she had messed up, the girl chooses to walk away and hurls the family picture against the wall. However, the cracks are quickly fixed, and in a moment of desperation, the young woman starts screaming for help, declaring that she no longer wants it. At that moment, Elliot hears his sister whispering his name. Understanding that Stevia is in danger, he chooses to assist her. Before going to bed, the young man asks his parents for help in saving the girl. The woman thinks he is being sincere, so she takes his words seriously. Elliot then shows up in his bed beside Bologna, who chooses to run away, leaving the young man alone to face Nightmare. Meanwhile, Stevie attempts to break free from the illusion when she sees her brother opening the door. Relieved, the girl runs to hug her brother. After apologizing for everything she said, she asks how he managed to get through Nightmare's storm. The boy then explains that the Guardian is really a nice person who was trying to keep the magical creatures in the dream world safe from Sandman's powers. The woman says that she and Sandman used to work together, but one day, the man realized that dreamers no longer needed to face nightmares because they were no longer necessary. However, Nightmare says that these experiences help build people's mental strength because this is how humans learn to deal with the unknown from a young age. In addition, the woman mentions that there's a guaranteed method to overcome your own fears and nightmares, provided the dreamer can locate someone or something that has remained with them through all the confusion and turmoil in their life. When she hears this story, Stevie gives her brother a hug. At that moment, Sandman breaks the illusion and scolds the girl for giving up on her new life. Even though this is happening, the young woman isn't scared, and the two of them take each other's hands and walk away together. Quickly, Sandman opens the ground to separate the young people. Stevie doesn't hesitate and immediately leaps to rescue her brother. Elliot is so scared because of the height that he can't think clearly. As a result, the pair is unable to use their flying abilities. Before they reach the ground, the young people are saved by Bologna, who shows up on the magic bed to assist his friends. The siblings are excited because their stuffed animal hasn't been left behind, so they shout for him to take them to the hourglass. But Sandman is angry and starts taking control of the castle to attack them. Soon after, the group accidentally steps through one of the magical portals in the walls, which locks them into an endless loop of portals. Because they are flying so fast, the young ones start to lose their energy. They also notice that Bologna is too preoccupied to assist them. Stevie tries to take control of the bed, but the young woman decides to let go and uses one of the portals to land on top of the furniture. Now that she has regained control of the flying bed, the girl attempts to get to the exit, but Sandman, who is very angry, tells his subordinates to stop her from escaping. Because of this, the group is attacked by hundreds of creatures, and the heavy weight makes the bed fall toward the floor. At that moment, Sandman realizes the sand in the hourglass is about to finish. He thinks he's already won, so he says goodbye to his siblings. But just as the door is about to shut, the young people's father shows up, wearing a jetpack, and uses his incredible strength to lift the passageway. Sandman struggles to hold him back as he pushes the door down against the floor. The mother swiftly moves forward and attacks the villain, who receives a strong hit from her. After knocking out Sandman, the woman yells to motivate her kids, and not long after, she rushes over to help her husband keep the passageway open. Trying to get out of that situation, Stevie notices the bed's propulsion button and, without hesitating, decides to press it. Because of this, the magic bed activates its thrusters and lifts off, sending all the creatures flying away. Realizing they only have a few seconds to get out, Stevie speeds up as fast as they can towards the door. After going through Sandman's body, they arrive on the other side. As soon as they glance at the hourglass, the siblings realize their time is nearly up, and they quickly grab each other's hands. At the very last moment, the pair successfully stops the countdown, which had just one grain of sand remaining before it would have ended. Relieved, the family hugs tightly, and the woman says that no matter what happens, their love for their children will always be greater than anything else in the world. In the end, the two people express their gratitude to Bologna for the assistance he provided. After holding hands, they deliver a strong and explosive punch to the hourglass, which gets completely destroyed by the force of the impact. Some days later, the family finishes loading the boxes into the car so they can keep moving to Duthie. There, the woman decides to accept the job offer she received, while the man chooses to start a new band. Before they leave, the couple takes one final look at their house and decides that even though they're scared of change, everything will be worthwhile. As they prepare to start their new life, Stevie thinks about how life might not be perfect, but no matter how much things change from one moment to the next, she knows her family will always be there for her, and that support will give her the strength to deal with whatever comes her way. Subscribe to watch more videos like this, leave a comment about your favorite movie, and we will make it next. Thanks for watching.